Hello again.
Hello again, and welcome to Liminal Writing. We took this session's trigger line from one of the resources around Lee.
Which is the September 2024 issue of National Geographic. So in most cases where we have a periodical, I ask Ces, give me a number. And so I
That's
land on a page,
I
right?
said, what did I say? 32.
Yeah, first 32, but it landed on a page that was, let me quickly show that to
What
viewers.
was it?
So it was a gentleman with a piece of machinery called a swage block. And so his work is trying to form metal casts for a dinosaur
So not really much to
skeleton.
quote there.
Yeah. So the next one that we landed on was on page 43, which is about caterpillars. And so Seska said, oh, so why don't you read something from
Caterpillar.
from the caterpillar? So this is where we landed. This is page
Look at
43.
them.
The different caterpillars.
Those who are not seeing video, it's a page on National Geographic where there's 8 frame pictures of different kinds of caterpillars. But
Pillars.
this particular one, the lace-capped caterpillar, apparently. Oh, so we got a quote from that one. The
Yeah.
lace-capped caterpillar is a leaf edge mimic using its own body to fill in the foliage space it just devoured. Wow, it positions itself so that it covers the part of the leaf where it actually already ate.
Mhm.
So that's our
So
trigger lines, trigger line for this session. Oh, so let's see where it took us.
all right.
I go
You
first.
go first.
Okay.
Yes.
So Lee and I just had this confusing exchange about caterpillars of our childhood. In Filipino, in the Philippines, we had multiple encounters with these things called higad in Filipino. They are hairy caterpillars that are painfully itchy when you come in contact with them. They would be in fruit trees and shrubs and could suddenly drop on you as you look
Mm.
up to admire summer blossoms.
Mm.
We do what we need to do to survive, I guess. Imagine having to camouflage yourself to mimic that which you have devoured. I struggle with that image.
Mm.
But caterpillars, creepy or cute, they do damage to the leaves of our trees and plants and sometimes cause our skins to itch, right? And yes, sometimes that is irritating, but they do turn into butterflies or moths with beautiful colors and patterns that make us gasp in wonder.
Mm.
Or these days, they make us scramble for our phones to capture a photo or two.
Yeah.
That's it.
All
Just
right.
had fun. Just fun there. Your turn.
Here's mine. The lace-cap caterpillar is a leaf edge mimic, using its own body to fill in the foliage space it just devoured. This brings me back to childhood days running, climbing, exerting, burning energy, breathless and sweaty. Playing hide and seek, burrowing in the hedges, standing still with corn stalks, or furiously redded by tomato vines.
Hmm.
Now, this is ironic. Trying to find oneness with tomatoes when I have never liked its taste. But in this one splay of hiding and seeking, the vines offered a reprieve and gave me momentary space to find my next move. That's it.
Some sort of tomato.
Aversion.
It was easy to grow, no, in our soils back home in the
It, it,
climate.
it seemed like,
And I
yeah.
never liked them either.
That's another thing we have in common. But now as an adult, I can tolerate them, but I never enjoyed the raw taste. So what I love is sun-dried tomatoes. I love
Oh
it in
yeah, they
pasta,
me too,
yeah,
I
or
don't.
in stews. But yeah, it's never my first
But
choice.
when I talked about the confusing exchange with Lee and I were talking about the itchy ones. We had a lot of hairy. Philippines has the hairy caterpillar. That's different from the lace cap caterpillar.
I remember
But there
that.
was also the green one I was telling Lee about, and he said he's never seen one.
I never
The
encountered
one
it
that
as a
is
child.
reflected in
Yeah.
our stuffed toys. They're just green and nice and plump.
Yeah. But then when they're at the brown stage, and
They're
that's
not
where I
itchy. You can
always
hold them.
the green ones. But as you can see from my face, I had
No,
a really
no, you always
unpleasant
thought all
encounters with the
caterpillars
brown
were
ones.
itchy. No, they're not.
Yeah.
But
I got
yeah, so I was,
welts like yeah.
but it's funny, how nature kind of, this one especially, they're designed for survival because
Mm-hmm.
the hairy one, especially in the Philippines, that one really protects them from even
Yeah.
humans. Because you will
Yes.
want to touch them because they
Yeah.
have to evolve, and then they cover themselves, right? And become that, what do
They
you call
become the
the
cocoon.
pupa, the cocoon.
Mhm.
And then they come out and become either a moth or a butterfly. And
Mm.
that's the image that I was thinking, from that itchy one that you get the creeps with, and then you see a beautiful butterfly. It's like, whoa, the
Yeah.
colors that they have, and then how we also shift with how we look at them.
Yeah.
Maybe I was a hairy caterpillar, and now I'm a whoa.
Yeah.
Uh,
I think it's one of the things that is interesting too with our trigger line is just the way it described how the caterpillar would eat the leaf as nourishment. And
mhm.
then in that space where the part that it ate, it just molds its
That's
body,
And
right?
that's the
To
way it
where that
hides
is.
itself too, from predators.
Yeah.
If you don't look closely, you won't notice it's there.
Mhm.
Wow. Oh well. Before this recording, Leah and I were like, can we do something light? Because sometimes there's trigger lines that brings you to a deeper space, or
Mm.
a really sometimes heavy space emotionally. And then
Mm.
we were like, can we do something light? So usually with Leah and I, it becomes food.
Yeah. That was
You
the
want
first thing that was
to
said. Shall we talk about food then?
Yeah, because every time we write about food, we just light up and you can almost feel the joy overflowing. So,
Yes.
so this one, let's talk about animals. So this is the caterpillar
Yeah.
conversation this time
But
around.
in a way, it connects to food because it talks about a caterpillar that it's eating. It just devoured something. So there's a dotted line. The subconscious brought us back to some
I
place
know it
still
scared me
related to
actually.
eating.
I think I held back there because it's like the image of it devouring and then
Mm.
camouflaging yourself to that space that you devour. Don't want to go there.
Yeah.
Anyway. But sometimes it says in Natalie Goldberg's Wild Mind Writing, go
Mm.
for the jugular is one of the rules of wild mind writing. It's like
Yeah.
where it's scary, go there in
Yeah.
terms of your writing. But this time I think I backed off a bit on the devouring one. Giving myself a break. All right.
Next time
So just
then.
a light one, and you can try this. It's from the National Geographic September 2024 issue. The lace-capped caterpillar is a leaf-edged mimic using its own body to fill in the foliage space it just devoured. Try that if you want to, or just say
Beautiful.
caterpillar and go right for 10
Yeah.
minutes. What
Mm.
comes to mind when you think of caterpillars?
Yeah.
And that's liminal writing for you.
All right. Thank you for today. See you the next one, folks.
Have fun.